Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. This is Yankee and The Brit bringing you MMA Underground, and we have a special guest for you, StreetBeefs, Scrapyard's fan favorite, Gash. Thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So a lot of big things going on for you. I know that you now moved and you got some people in the scrapyard worried that you're not going to come back. So I thought, first of all, we'd let you tell them if you plan on being back in the scrapyard at some point.
No, I will be back to the scrapyard. I moved to Wisconsin, and I'll be heading back to go visit family, and I'll be timing my family visits with scrapyard events. So I'll be around to see everyone. Hopefully towards the end of the summer, and maybe fall or winter even, but hopefully towards the end of the summer.
No, that's really exciting. I'm from Wisconsin, so you and I were just talking about how we'll love the summers. We'll see how you can handle our winters because they're brutal. But it's got to be an exciting time for you with some big changes coming up, and everybody's going to be really excited to hear you're going to go back to the scrapyard.
Yeah. I've been getting started at, well, I haven't quite exactly gotten started yet, but I've been taking some trial classes at a couple of different gyms in the area. So I'm excited to be training, taking training seriously on that level with experienced instructors who are really orientated towards competition with their fighters.
Yeah, it's always got to be fun to train with new people, learn new things, and different coaches.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but yeah, it's exciting at the same time. And so far, I've been clicking with people.
Yeah, just getting a fresh perspective on life and then on your training can really like kind of wake you up to things that you never even thought of training at before. So that must be really, really helpful to you. Are you going to miss the guys over at Scrapyard?
For sure. I'll be in the Scrapyard Facebook group and on the YouTube channel, and then I'll be physically back in Washington State probably late summer, maybe fall or winter, but I'm hoping late summer around end of August.
Yeah, of course. Is there any kind of fighting competitions that you'll be looking at getting into over in Wisconsin? I think we've heard from Fire Chicken before that there's a fight, like kind of another thing of StreetBeefs getting set up somewhere near to Wisconsin, right?
Peoria, Illinois, but it's not part of StreetBeefs yet, but they are doing the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Would you be interested
in any backyard fight? I knew that there'd be backyard fight orgs like everywhere, but I wasn't aware of any specific groups here. I think for Wisconsin, I'll probably just try to. I'm thinking about trying to do more amateur fights. I know that I've been talking to some people about large events that are held out in Iowa, which is a road trip away. And so I'm not certain. I just want to get a lot better at fighting. There's a lot of things I want to work on before I fight again.
If you ever do fight amateurs in Wisconsin, please get a hold of me, because if I can be there, I'm definitely going to come watch you fight, because I'm so far from the scrapyard. That would be awesome.
I'll let you know. Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't know if you've even thought about this, but I've seen it on the internet a few times, and people have actually asked me in a private message once before, do you have any merch out there, and do you plan on putting any merchandise? Because people love you.
What I have started is a YouTube channel where I posted a couple different videos. I try to keep my videos short and just full of interesting stuff that I think is interesting. So if you do want to support me, I go give me a follow on YouTube. The channel name is Gash Martial Arts. And I have a couple different videos that are like training videos, sparring videos, showing scrapyard fighters warming up before their fights, and a couple different things. So I'll be updating that channel. I'm hoping to do it once a week, although I had a bit of interruption because I moved to a different city and I occupied a lot of my time. But there's a couple videos I have saved on my hard drive that I've been planning on uploading. So so I have a few videos, and I'll probably be keeping up to date with it. Maybe once every week or so.
Yeah, I saw your YouTube channel actually. So it's 251 subscribers that you've got at the minute, but getting 1,000 views on like almost every video. How crazy!
Very
How
I'm
cool.
crazy
pretty
is that?
happy.
That just shows how much people are out
Yeah.
here supporting you and loving you.
I'm really happy with that. And I think that says a lot about the quality of my videos. I'm not doing like super high effort videos, but I'm not uploading just random junk. I'm trying to like edit down and create videos that I think people will actually like watching, and videos that I actually think are pretty cool. So that's just going to be my ethos going into the future with that channel. It's just interesting stuff. Probably post more sparring in the next few months, and uh, try to have to come up with some other concepts too. I was thinking of maybe even doing some fight analysis of fights, but it will all just depend on like how things turn out. If I don't really like a video, I'm just not going to upload it, and if I do really like a video, I'll upload it. So
I think fight analysis from you would be great because I love reading what you put on Facebook or whatever when you're watching some fights, and you'll really call out. I'll be watching some of the stuff you're watching and then read it and go, nailed it. That's exactly what I was thinking. And I'm not even a fighter. So
yeah, whenever I watch fights with someone, and then like I make a comment about the fight, uh, and then the commentators notice it in like round two or round three after I noticed in round one. I always get a little ego. I always get a little ego. It feeds my ego a little bit because I'm like, oh, I noticed that. I noticed that before you did.
no, and I'll tell you, we need some Gash shirts. I know people don't like to market themselves as much, but people would buy your stuff, and we need some Gash t-shirts. We need some Gash like hats and coffee mugs.
Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future.
Fair enough. Um, and then are you looking more towards when you do amateur fights? Are you looking more towards like kickboxing, MMA, both?
I'm not sure. I don't have any specific goal. It's like I want to just get a coach and do things kind of conventionally. Go through the school, follow their routine and program. And when the coach feels like I'm ready, then they can set me up with an amateur fight. The backyard fights, I just treat very. So when I say amateur fights, I'm thinking maybe 1 or 2 years out.
Okay, so you're looking at just putting the time into training, getting to where you want to be, using the scrapyard and different things just for like more training and
Yeah,
just
it's experience, and it just gets me used to fighting. Like at this point, I have zero nerves about getting into a fight with anyone, um, which is good. Although I didn't really have that many nerves in my first fight even, but I'm just pretty used to fighting, getting punched in the face. I kind of know how hard I can get hit, and I just know like how to get some like reality checks about my skill and conditioning.
my wife and I were rewatching some of your fights last night before we were going to have you on today. And yeah, you definitely took some shots and never even like seemed like it bothered you. Like you took some and shook them off, but you also have no problem returning some heavy shots. And again, some of those leg kicks just made my leg hurt watching
Yeah, I mean the leg kicks are definitely my most serviceable weapon. And they're just very, very satisfying. They make a lot of different sounds depending on where you hit, from a thud to a crack to a snap. So that's definitely what I like to feel. And it's really like it's taken me kind of to this point where I'm reaching a level where I feel like I'm beginning to kind of understand the basics even, which is a little frustrating because it's just like, oh, I spent all this time and now I'm just beginning to understand the basics. And it's like, well, now I can jab into a rear kick, and with confidence, and instead of like, stepping into a punching exchange without really having a plan or like a clear idea of how to counter or how to set shit up. So like, I mean, I'm just getting a couple of the most basic setups for kicks just drilled and understood. And it's taken a long time to even get that done. But as long as I develop those setups and keep learning low kicks, I think the low kick can take me places.
Yeah, I think that's what makes you, that's what's going to always keep you as like a fan favorite. If you can take a punch and then you're more than happy to return one straight back. I mean, with confidence, and the fact that you're just now knowing the basics of MMA, I think that puts you in good stead though, because you look like you were a fun fighter to watch anyway. So like now that you've got the basics down as well, it's so you've got the entertainment side down, and now you're gonna win fights as well by knowing what you the basics and what you're actually going to do, and that's great.
By finish, I don't want to get a lot of decision wins. And that's also like the only way that you can really secure a win without people thinking it's kind of BS, or without myself, which is much more important, thinking it's kind of BS. And the key to that for me is going to be the low kicks and the body work. I think is really, really the key. Just set them up, and like really chop hard. And it should be like 10 to 20 low kicks. Like it's a numbers game, I think. Like if I land 10 to 20 low kicks, I think I just win the fight at that point.
No, and I will tell you, I was as much of a combat sports fan as I am. I never got into kickboxing till I watched you. And now you were so exciting. I've watched other people kickbox thanks to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, kickboxing is awesome. Muay Thai is awesome.
Yeah, I never really watched it. And then I was watching your kickboxing and I was like, damn, look at those leg kicks or those punches. And then so I started watching other people's kickboxing and street beef. So yeah, you helped bring a new fan to kickboxing.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear it.
That's kind of StreetBeefs' whole thing, like bringing new fans to different mixed martial arts, or like me, just mixed martial arts in general. That's like I've only just started really watching it because of StreetBeef. So
And it makes
good on
combat
StreetBeefs.
sports so accessible too for people who just want to fight. Because like generally, if you want to fight in the amateur circuit, you will go to a gym, and the coach will want to wait until you're ready before you get your first fight, for a lot of legitimate reasons, because the coach will probably want you to like represent their style. They don't want you to get beat up. They want you to represent the school. And that takes a long time. It takes a lot of time in a gym to do that, and many months. And gym memberships are not totally inexpensive. So if you're somebody who like just kind of wants to fight, but you don't want to spend 1 or 2 years, and some gyms will be like, no way, 1 year, no way. And other gyms will be like maybe 1 year. It just depends. 1 or 2 years in a gym, spending lots of money on memberships and tons of hours. That's kind of how the amateur circuit kind of operates, as far as I've seen it, which is fine because it works, because it serves its own purpose. But if you're doing backyard fights, you can just kind of show up and get a fight.
And the exposure from StreetBeefs is, there's no way an amateur fight can compare to the exposure people are getting, because some of these videos are getting 500,000, 1 million views. I mean, Jay Gottman, Preacher's Son, is over 500,000 views.
Well, if that's if you're really interested in views, then I guess, yeah, that's a benefit. But if you're interested in building up a career, it doesn't really matter how many like YouTube viewers watch you. So it just depends on your goals. So for some people, that's a big plus, and for other people, it doesn't really matter.
No, I agree. I think where it will come in the most handy, besides the people who are content creators, is that just by your name getting out there, it's probably easier to get into some of those amateur cards. Because I'm sure, like, I know he's got a lot of training, but I think part of where Big Smile's getting some of these deals now is because he is the heavyweight champ of StreetBeefs.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Gash, for coming on. It's been absolutely great having you, a fan favorite. I'm sure all the guys at StreetBeefs all at Scrapyard are going to be missing you until you go visit them again in the summer. Keep up doing the good work, and everybody go subscribe to her YouTube channel as well.
And let me know when you have an amateur fight, please.
That's most important right there.
Okay. Yeah, and that's Gash Martial Arts. Gash Martial Arts is the name of the YouTube channel.
It'll be all over the screen somewhere. Jay will have it
Oh,
all
okay.
over the screen somewhere. It'll be all sorted. All right.
Yep.
So thank you so much, guys. We've really enjoyed the video again.
Yeah, sorry about the technical problems, Gash, and we hope to have you again in the future. And just great luck in everything you're doing with your move and your training. And we can't wait to see you in the scrapyard and wherever else again.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.